2. Welcome back, WNST, Taos, Baltimore, and WNST.net as part of our ongoing community and charity focus and our stories that we tell and good events and Baltimore positive stuff. All of it's brought to you by our friends at Cole Roofing. Bill Cole gave me the inspiration to do these pieces, which gives me an opportunity to bring people like Sandy Pagnotti on. I see her all over the television at the Ronald McDonald House for going on a decade now. And, I'm familiar with the Ronald McDonald House. I helped build a wing of that about 20 years ago. A couple of CEOs ago, I think, Sandy, back in the day. But the Ronald McDonald House with a huge commitment here, been going on forever. And I know Baltimore's one of the charter sort of places a million years ago that got involved with Ronald McDonald Houses and sort of set the tone for a lot of other places around the country. But you guys have a big event coming up with Baltimore Style. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. I want to let everybody know about this and a way to come out and support you. So it's great to have you aboard. How are things at the Ronald McDonald House these days?
Well, they are wonderful. Thank you very much. We just opened a brand new 60,000 square foot, $35 million Ronald McDonald House for the state of Maryland. And we just changed our name to the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Maryland from Baltimore.
I remember when the Ronald McDonald House was like a little room. It was a tiny thing, right? And I rolled my sleeves up. I want to say about 1997, 98, 99. I did a series of things. I remember Art Donovan, and I went down, and so I would not recognize it at all, right? Like I'm completely lost 2 decades later, huh?
We have really made a sea change. So we were over by Lexington Market for the first 38 years. And then about 5 years ago, we embarked on this campaign to build a new Ronald McDonald House because we were turning away over 600 families a year because we didn't have room. So we had completely outgrown the old house. Our wait list was 35 to 50 families a night. And so we embarked on this campaign, and we raised $35 million, and we built a new Ronald McDonald House. We are in Midtown. Really, it's called Jonestown. It's right at the bottom of the Jones Falls. And we built from the ground up, and it's beautiful. And we opened on May 14th, and we are already full, 55 rooms, and we are already at capacity.
Let's go back to the whole story about all this, and then we're going to get to a big night and give people a chance to come out for Style's big event, Style 30. It's the Big Bash. It is coming up on November the 7th. I'm going to give everybody some links and a way to do that. Sandy Pagnotti's here from the Ronald McDonald House. So the beginning of what does Ronald McDonald House Charities do? And in supporting, you mentioned these 55 units and families. Give me a case study of what Ronald McDonald Houses have meant over the last 4 or 5 decades.
So what we are a home away from home for families who have critically ill or injured children, and they are coming to or through Baltimore for treatment. We're a hub of world-class medical care. So kids and families will come to us literally from all over the state, all over the country, and all over the world for medical treatment, whether their child has been traumatically injured or has some kind of a disease. We have a lot of oncology kids here, and so they'll come here. That's kind of the big picture view. What we say here at the Ronald McDonald House is, for our team, our mantra is, we are the Ritz meets Disney meets Grandma's house. And so that means when you come here, our facility is like a hotel. It's a place to stay so that a family is not burdened with paying for a hotel, paying for food, paying for transportation. We provide all of that, and that we operate like a hotel would, meets Disney, that we are magical, kid-focused, all about families and having fun and being a child despite your illness. Meets Grandma's house, that you feel loved and nurtured and taken care of and safe and protected. So that's kind of what we really do here. And we serve Hopkins, Kennedy, Krieger, University of Maryland, the new University of Maryland Proton Therapy Center, Sinai, Mount Washington Pediatric, Mercy. So we really serve 6-7 hospitals in the region.
Sandy, it's incredible. My wife was diagnosed with leukemia. It'll be 6 years in March, and going through that journey twice. She had a bone marrow transplant and a lymphocyte infusion from a man in Germany who saved her life, and I was at the hospital every day for going on 3 years. My wife spent 155 nights at Hopkins, and we felt so fortunate in the unfortunate instance that I was 1.6 miles away from her. I made one right turn on Orleans Street off of Charles from where I live. She had world-class care. She is still alive in the other room doing what, she does in engineering for a telecom. And we saw the beds on the 5th floor there with adults, and the common area would be when you would go down to get a coffee, the children's wing at Hopkins, we would see those families. And Sandy, I don't need to tell you, but there were not a whole lot of people over in the oncology wing at Hopkins that had 21202 zip codes. You know what I mean? These are people from all over the country, all over the world, certainly all over the region. The people in every other room were from Virginia and West Virginia and Florida and Georgia and Africa and Europe and the Middle East and from all over the world. And they come here for this care. And again, you never want to say it's fortunate your wife had leukemia, but if you're going to have leukemia, have it a mile away from the best hospital in the world. And I was not displaced. We did not have 3 children. She was not a child. Her family had a place to stay. But, man, that's rare that I could come to you 5 years later and have a success story with a cancer story the way we did, that we were never put out. We did not have the issues that we saw all around us, which was my mom's in that bed, my child's in that bed, I have a job, I have to feed the rest of my family. My child's in Baltimore and I live in Detroit, and how am I going to get there? This is the story every single day of your life, right?
Yeah, it's so, talking to you, I knew when I was going to talk to you, I'm so happy to hear about your wife and how well Jennifer's doing. And I thought, when I knew I was going to be talking to you, he's a guy who's really going to get this. I did.
Yeah,
I thought he's going to understand exactly why this is important and what our mission is all about. For all the reasons.
That's why I do these segments, Sandy.
Right. But it's all for all the reasons you articulated. So you imagine that your life, especially the ones who are recently diagnosed, that, life is going on as planned, and then
Boom.
a monkey wrench comes in and turns everything upside down. And to your point, most of our families, the parents are trying to keep their jobs. They're trying to keep their families together whenever possible. We have rooms here now at the new house that are large enough to accommodate the extended family, so that on the weekends maybe siblings can come, and we have a lot of grandparents who come, so that it's not just a mother and a child or a father and a child, that the extended family can keep a family unit together.
How many rollaways and cots do we have at the Ronald McDonald house to get moved from room 1 to room 10 to room 20?
Well, in the old house, a lot. But in this house, we specifically designed this house for those reasons. So we built in, there are sofa beds in some of the rooms.
I want a Murphy bed. Do you have Murphy beds?
I know. You know what? It's so funny. We talked about having a Murphy bed. If you want a Murphy bed, we'll figure it out. But
I always wanted a bunk bed. Well, I never had a sibling, right? So you always want a bunk bed. You always want a trundle bed. You always wanted I had a Murphy bed in Ocean City one summer. I went back and rented the place again the next year. I'm 50 years old. I've only had one Murphy bed my whole life. So
I actually had a trundle bed growing up, so that's funny, with my sister.
Always makes me think of Welcome Back, Kotter. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But.
Well, hey, and in this new house, the house we're in now, the entire 5th floor, we have 6 floors here, but the entire 5th floor is oncology. And those rooms, they are not our standard rooms. Those are actually mini apartments. It's 9 suites. So it's a living room, a bedroom, a little kitchenette that has a microwave, a refrigerator, a sink, kitchen table, so that in the event a child wasn't able to come out and be part of if their immune system wasn't allowing them to come out and be part of that, on that floor, it's kind of self-contained, and those spaces are more like a long-term, small apartment efficiency kind of setup.
I know all about Purell, on the hands and the mask and the thicker mask and the thinner mask. Yeah, we had a full education on all that. Sandy Pagnotti's here. She's the president and CEO of the Ronald McDonald House and the charities, where they're celebrating with Baltimore style. This happens on November the 7th. It's a VIP happy hour. Save the date. Learn more at the Ronald McDonald House and everything they're doing. You can find their website at RM, Ronald McDonald, RMHC House Charities, Maryland.org. RMHCMaryland.org. Boy, there's so much information up here and things that are going on and golf events and people get together. For a regular person just listening out there that is moved or inspired by all of this, other than supporting an event and coming out buying a ticket for something, what can be done? What kind of people call you and say, hey, Sandy, I just want to help for a day, a week. My wife loves animals. She volunteers and does stuff. What would a volunteer or someone on the street be able to do to help you out?
Well, I think one of the greatest strengths of RMH is that our team, our staff is small, but we rely almost entirely on volunteers to help us run, which gives it this incredible sense of community, this wonderful sense of just people helping each other through these really terrible times as community. So we have volunteer opportunities if you want to volunteer once in your life, once a year, once a month, once a week. If it's individuals, if it's groups, you can come here, you can do things on the outside and bring them in. So we have an entire page on our website that is every group and individual volunteer opportunity you could imagine. And we always need volunteers. There are so many different ways that people can engage with us. And it's meaningful engagement. You're here at the Ronald McDonald House and you are directly helping. It's an opportunity for direct service. You can meet and see the families that you're helping when you're here volunteering, or helping make a meal for a family, making things to stuff in the kids' cubbies, goodie bags for the cubbies. There's 1,000 things that can be done. So we never met a volunteer that we couldn't put to work. I guarantee that.
9 years she's been at Ronald McDonald House. You've seen her around the marketplace and talking about all the good deeds they do. Hey, I really appreciate catching up with you and learning a little bit more about everything and hearing about the new digs. I'm going to have to come by because I'm not far from Midtown. The Jones Fall's never far from Nestor, trust me. So I'll be on it in a little while, Sandy. So I'll honk the horn as I go by. But really appreciate it. The event's November 7th. Get everybody out to support you guys. And tell everybody how to find you personally if they want to get in touch with you.
We can go to www.rmhcmaryland.org and all of our contact information. If you want to reach out directly to me, my email's on there as well.
Perfect. Appreciate the time. We'll see you in November, okay?
All right, you're awesome.
Appreciate you. Sandy Pagnotti joining us here, the CEO and president of Ronald McDonald House and doing good stuff. And, I get emotional into these conversations because it's like, I remember when they came in and dropped a little yellow, it wasn't little, it was a big yellow binder and said, you've got cancer, you've got leukemia, welcome to this. Good luck with things. And families are having that happen right now over at Hopkins and at other hospitals here in the area, and good for folks to be helping them out. So we want to give them a hand. Appreciate our friends at Cole Roofing and Gordian Energy for giving us a hand and a step up, my pal Bill Cole, and putting that together and allowing us to talk about Baltimore positive stuff. We'll be at Fadley's this week with Brandon Scott, Baltimore City Council President and mayoral candidate. We got all sorts of stuff coming up, though. Ben Cardin around the corner. John Sarbanes around the corner. Howard County Executive Calvin Ball's going to be coming on with us. So we're chasing them all down. At some point, Larry Hogan might come on, too. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. We never stop telling good stories of good deeds and Baltimore positive things. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports and a little Baltimore positive, too.